Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to our channel. Hey beautiful people. I throw away salute. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Today is the third day in a row that I'm streaming. Okay, I'm waiting for you. Yeah, just use the link I sent to you, yeah? You see the link in your Instagram. Or I can also share it here. If it's gonna make it easier for you, just you can use this one. Welcome, welcome. Please give us a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. Today is the third day in a row that I've been streaming, and I'm slightly tired now. Not slightly, I'm actually tired. But we move. We move. By the grace of God, we move. Welcome everybody. Please give us a thumbs up. Please share. Yeah. The link is there in the comment section, that THATMUMOF5. Just use it and get and jump in, please, so that we can do this back. So I have a guest tonight. She's trying to get into the studio. You know how women usually make excuses for why they stay in domestic violence, marriage, and relationships. I'm staying for the kids, a very, very popular one. That if you're in Nigeria, I'm sure you've heard it. Is whether you are making that decision to stay because you say, oh, because of my kids, I'm staying, or somebody is telling you to stay because of children. But we now know with evidence that DV damages children. So actually, people shouldn't stay. It should be the opposite. You should leave because of the kids. And we've talked about these issues over and over and over and over on this platform. So I ran into that mom of five just a couple of days ago when she was doing this video because I was googling what's his name, the lawyer that was trending a few days ago, caught on camera. So I was trying to get information about him, and that's how her video popped up. And I said, "Oh, who is this?" And then I went and watched her channel. I liked her instantly. She's just my kind of girl. Assertive, very well spoken, beautiful woman, and and then I listened to the show, and she was talking and talking and talking, and then she started talking. At a point, she got teary. She was talking about her own experience growing up in a family where her dad was always putting his hands on her mom. That really, really that touched me. And I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna bring her on the show. And I said, I looked for her on Instagram and saw she was following me, which I didn't know. So I just DM her. I said, "I will meet you. Follow me, okay? You come into my show." And she agreed instantly. So for that, I'm grateful. Thank you so much, darling. Unmute yourself and do welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Auntie B. I've been following you for ages.
How come
Ages.
you've never said anything, Wemimo? You never said anything. I've not
You
seen
know, I
your
just
comment. You are one of, even though you are a YouTuber, you are a silent YouTuber.
I am, oh, I am. At times I just, I just keep quiet and watch. I just keep quiet
I
and watch, but I've been
didn't
following you for
know.
ages. For ages, yes.
Oh, when I checked for you on
Yeah.
Instagram, I saw you were following me. I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. Anyway, thank you very much for accepting to come.
You're welcome. You're
I,
welcome,
I
Auntie
like I
B.
like the from the way you were speaking on that video. I just liked the way you talked about your relationship with your dad, your mom, and how it has impacted on you since you were a
Yeah.
child. And there was
Yeah.
something you said on that video that really got to me. You said that you were constantly in a fight mode.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I still
So
am.
you still are.
Yes, I still am. I
You
still am.
haven't you haven't dealt with
I'm
that
gonna
yet.
I'm gonna try and not get teary. I think that I've got to realize when I really need to curb it so it doesn't go overboard in a way.
Mm,
So, like I'm constantly in
mm,
a fight mode. just like if I go out, even at work,
Mm,
like, when you go to work and they see your appearance, they're like, this one is trouble. Oh. But then when they get to kind of like know you, and you know the kind of people you're kind of like working with, then you realize that, oh, these are not the kind of people I really need to be working with in a fight mode. But,
mm.
just work, know them, and then, carry on with them. Yeah.
It's not a natural, that mode, the fight mode that you are constantly in, is not a
Mm-hmm.
natural. That's not how you
Yeah.
that's not, it's because, I'm sure you know that already. It's because
Totally.
of what
Yes.
happened in your childhood.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Absolutely. You're right, Auntie
that
B. You're
trauma,
absolutely right.
yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
the
And
trauma
I
you
did
experienced
mention in
as a
that.
child is what grew up with you.
Yeah, and I
Mm,
did mention in that video that I know it's not where I want to be. It's not what I want for myself. It's not what I want for myself.
mm,
That I really want to be able to live a normal, happy life. Go out there, be shady, just live life the way it is, but not being in that mode. Not being in that mode. There was a time my husband was having a conversation with somebody, and he was like, "You know what? My wife is a very, very lovely woman, but when she says something, you would think she means it in a bad way, or she's saying it to hurt it, but she's not. She's just the kind of person that she will say
mm.
things the way it is, but inside of her, she's so soft. She is so soft, and
So
even him being
I'm
my
just
husband, yeah.
assuming,
Sorry.
I think you're married to a very patient person. Your husband must
Oh,
be a very patient person.
he is Auntie B. He is like, well, it's just like having a
Mm.
goat and a sheep in a marriage. So
Yeah,
I am the goat.
yeah. You
I
could,
am the
I
goat.
mean, mm,
I was
mm.
actually me
It's
before
not
coming onto
possible
the
for
show.
you to marry. Mm. You will not
Before
have
I
been
came
able
onto
to
the show,
marry a man who
no,
has the same
mm-mm,
personality with you. It will not work.
at all,
You people will
at
be
all.
fighting every day.
Before I came
Mm,
on the show, I was actually reflecting that I'm thankful for the kind of man God has given me, because I was like, if I've been in this mode from the beginning, I don't think I would have been married in any way. But obviously, he knew where I was coming
mm,
from. And obviously, they often tell us, get married to your friend. I did not get married to my friend. I got married to somebody who's had like, is a matured man, experienced with women. He's 9 years my senior. And I told him from day one that, come, this is the household I'm coming from, and I don't want such for myself. And I always say it on my channel that when I met him, he said, I want a wife, not a girlfriend. And I was 18 when I met him. It was like, I want a wife, not a girlfriend. So it's up to you to decide if you want to go. And to God be the glory, the things he said to me from the very first day he met me, it's never changed. It's never changed. Even
wow,
though he knows that I
amazing.
am a goat. When I see green light like this, I don't see red. It is green I see. It is green I see,
So,
and I'm
because the
thankful
thing
to
is
God.
that with that fight mode that you are constantly in, comes
Yeah.
with a certain kind of energy.
Yeah.
And some people might describe it as a masculine energy, and a lot of men don't
Yes.
like that.
Yes. Absolutely right, Auntie B. You
Mm,
are ticking the right boxes. Like all the boxes, you are ticking them right. I agree 100%.
yeah,
Yes. And that's why I
I,
said to him
I
that
know.
he's very, very is I mean, maybe because he has six sisters ahead of him. He's the last child. And I think being having
Why?
lots of sisters as well as kind of like giving him that make being a calm man. And to be honest, Auntie B, if I have to go into the
Mm,
dating world again, if I have to come into this world with this kind of like obviously the way my life is right now, I will struggle to get married or even have a lifelong partner. If I were to go back into the
mm,
community society and start dating now, I won't find man to marry me because like this
mm.
one, no, she will find me. She will find me.
Your bass goes not be here.
Exactly. Like
So
I'll
you
be
have
giving the
five.
dance goes on a full scale. On a full scale, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So,
But
thank you very much,
you're
Wemimo.
welcome,
I'm
Auntie
going to
B.
call you Wemimo. I won't call you that. Do you have 5 kids? Is that why you call yourself
I have,
that
yes,
mom
I've
of
got
five?
5 beautiful kids. Yes, I've got
Wow.
5 kids. I've got 3 girls and
Wow.
2 boys.
You don't even look. Oh wow. You
I'm a
don't look.
baby.
You
I'm
look
a
good.
baby. I
You look
only
good.
turned 40 last year, so I'm 41.
Uh, you started
I'm a
early. He
baby.
caught you young. That man
Yes,
caught you young.
he did, oh, Auntie B. He did.
Okay.
He did, yeah, he did.
Are you based? Where are
Mhm.
you based? Is it Ireland? Where
I'm
are
in
you based?
Scotland. I'm in Scotland, in the city of Glasgow.
Oh, Scotland.
Yes,
Oh, Glasgow. Okay. I
yeah.
love Scotland. Scotland is beautiful. I love it there. Anyway, let's start from
Yeah,
the very beginning. You already know what we
yes,
want to talk about.
yes.
And thank you very much. putting yourself out there. I know this is something you are very, very passionate about, because I could tell
Yeah.
from when you were talking on that video, you were speaking with so much. And when somebody has experienced something, it's different from somebody just telling you something because they
Yeah.
read it or saw it on a video. Okay?
Yeah.
This is your
Yeah.
lived experience. You grew up in this household and you
Yes, I did.
saw what happened between your parents, and you
Yeah.
also
Mm-hmm.
know the impact it had on your life. And that's why we kind of
Yeah.
started off, and I was talking about your personality, your marriage and things like that. But let's start
Yeah.
from the very beginning, growing
Yeah.
up.
Mm-hmm.
How was it for you in your household growing up in that setting? And when women say, "Oh, I'm staying because of my children," or people advise
Mm-hmm.
women stay because of your children when there is domestic violence in that
Yeah.
marriage, how was it for you?
Mm-hmm.
Your own personal experience. Just walk us through that.
It was hard. It was hard. Like, I was constantly in fear for my mom. Constantly in fear for my mom. I
Mm,
wouldn't go anywhere. Even up till maybe 10, 15 years ago, always in fear for my mom, because I mean, we are just like a normal standard family. Look, my mom, living together, we'll do the happy things, Christmas, we'll do everything. But for the fact that I know that thing is there, I was constantly in fear for my mom. It
mm,
was it was really difficult. It
mm,
was hard. And I wish that what we are saying now have been said when I was much younger. So many women's lives will have
mhm,
been saved.
mhm,
So many women's lives will have been saved.
mhm,
It was hard. Yeah. It was, yeah,
mm,
it
mm.
was for me.
Well, is it that your dad? I mean, I know you said in that video that he's old now, he's mellow now,
Oh,
and all that is in the past. But was
mm.
it temperamental, or was it just angry, or I mean, what? Give us examples.
So I don't see him as temperamental because I've seen the way he reacts with his other siblings. My dad um I think there's seven of them that my grandpa gave birth to. My dad is the oldest. He's actually a twin. He's the oldest, like the eldest, and he has four or six siblings. So I think he has four brothers and two sisters. So I've never seen my dad the way he was with my mom. I've never seen him that way with his siblings. I've never seen him that way. Even till now, I've never seen him that way with his siblings. Hence why at some point I was confused that why with my mom, why was he like that? They could sit down 1 second and be having like, a lovely couple in one evening, sitting outside, chatting. And then from there, you see the tone of the conversation increasing. Before you know it, he jumps out from his chair, goes for my mom. So I really know, obviously, as a child, I can't really tell what the argument or what the fight, what stemmed up that led him to know that way with my mom. But I still struggle, even till tomorrow, I still struggle to kind of like put a finger on why was he like that with my mom. I've never seen him
Hmm.
in that way with any of his siblings before. Never,
So
never. So I
he
can't
knew how to
say
behave with other people. It's
exactly.
not like he knew how
Is
to
is
behave
a
with other
very
people. Yeah.
is a well-loved man. Well-loved man. Everybody loves him. Like there's nowhere my dad steps into. He always gets that, being a very respected person in the community, in the church, everywhere. But the only time I think I've actually seen him with being upset, and then being upset did not mean he goes to that person and give them a slap or anything. It was like his immediate younger brother. We were meant to, because my parents lived in Adeniji Adele, Idumota, if you know that area in Lagos. My grandparents were living in Lagos, and so every Christmas my uncle would take us there because we lived in the same compound. So he was driving one of these wee jeep there, this jeep that normally have these tires at the back. So very fancy car. So every Christmas, he will take me and my brothers to my grandpa's place because we often go there on Christmas Day. So I don't know what was happening between him and his younger brother, and they were having an argument. And I was already sitting in that car with my younger brothers, with my brothers. And then my uncle came out and screamed, like, "Get out of my car! Get out of my car! Did I ask your father not to buy a car? Did I ask your father not to have a car?" So I don't know what transpired between them for him to come out that way and start screaming at us. But even at that, my dad did not even approach it. Obviously, they are siblings. He did not approach him and say, how dare you speak to my children like that? Or, he did not. He just stood there looking. He stood there, watch his
Mm,
younger brother walk us out of his car. And then I'm like, okay,
mm,
somebody, your younger brother speaks to you that way. I don't know what the argument was. He did not shout, he did not scream. But then any single, maybe with my mom, is like, Bass go straight away. Bass go straight away.
mm,
So I don't think like a
Mm.
temperamental thing. I don't know. Maybe my mom's done something in the past that I don't know, and I don't think my mom has never mentioned anything. My mom has never
She
mentioned
didn't do
anything in the
anything.
past. You know,
No,
so
she
it
didn't do
was really
anything.
different.
Abuse. Yeah. Abuse, if you know the psychology behind the abuse, is rooted
Mm,
in power and control. People don't
yeah,
abuse people that they feel have more power. Your uncle has money. He has a fancy
yeah,
jeep. Even though he's
mm,
younger than your father,
my
you
dad.
saw he behaved
Hmm.
himself. But with
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
mom, he has more control over her. You
Mm,
know,
yeah,
he
yeah.
has more power over her. I'm sure he
Mm.
probably have more money. You say he's a respected man. Everybody loves and
Oh
respects
yeah,
him in the community.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
So it's about
Yes.
that. It's about power and control. It's
Yeah.
that dynamics. That's where usually comes in. But there was something you said also in that video that at a point it got so bad that you couldn't sleep. You go and lie down in front of
Yes.
their room.
I'm gonna try and not be teary. It's kind of like I did that a lot. I can't count how many times I actually did that. And I think I was about between the age of, so most of the time when I started becoming really aware of this abuse of a thing between my mom and my dad, I already started secondary school then. So I think I was maybe GSS 1 or something. So I was kind of like, I will see everything and I want to know what's happening. So I think between the ages of 10 and 11, I was starting to become very, very fearful for my mom because each time that it happens, my mom, she will be healed for so many days. It's either she ends up in hospital or she goes over to her family. Our families, they've intervened. My mom still did not go to them. So it got to a point whereby I was like, oh, nothing must happen to my mom. Nothing must happen to her. So I would go. So my parents had their own room where they sleep, and then me and my younger sisters, we sleep in a room, obviously in the living room. So we sleep on the mattress there. And I stopped sleeping in the room that I was meant to be sharing with my sister. So I'll go sleep by the door of my parents' room. So in case I hear anything, I know straight away all I need to do is just throw my weight through the door and the door will fling open. Because and I remember the first time it happened, like the first time, apart from my mom sitting down, it will go, grab my mom. The very first time that I badged, I just heard a muffled voice, like when somebody's trying to shout, but they're not able to shout, somebody's covering their mouth. I could hear that muffled voice, and obviously like a kick, like a kick. Immediately I heard that, I sprung straight away, bashed through the door, and I saw my dad on top of my mom, trying to like strangle her, like pin her down. And I screamed, tried to push him off. And it was when I entered, screamed, that I kind of like, let go of my mom, and my mom ran out. And it was about, I think it was middle of the night. It was middle of the night, and it's probably one of the ones that I can't forget. I can't forget. I keep reliving
Hmm.
it. I keep reliving. And since then on,
I'm
I just
imagining
was.
how. Yeah, I'm just trying to picture how you, as a little girl, that
Mhm.
age, 10, maybe 12 years old, very skinny
Yeah.
little girl, having to
Hmm.
feel this burden, this huge
Yeah.
responsibility on your shoulder to the point that you
Hmm.
can't sleep at night because you're on alert, because you feel
Yeah.
this burden of having to protect your mom.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
very huge
Mhm.
responsibility for a kid because
Yeah.
you're
It
constantly
is.
fearful, like you said, you're afraid for her, you don't know what's going to happen because,
What happened? Yeah.
he's beating her so many times. So
Yeah.
now you
Hmm.
feel the need that you need to stay away in case
Every
it's
day.
happening at night so you can
Mhm.
protect your mom.
Yes.
Does it
Yes.
stop when it hits you? Or did it
So
stop
that that
when
that kind of like happened. If I remember clearly, it happened twice in the middle of the night, and and then every other time it's always like maybe later on in the evenings. So the second time also was pretty much the same. Obviously they started. I don't know. I think they've had this argument during the day, and to me, I thought, oh, that's them. They settled. My mom cooked, he ate, and did all of that, only for them to go to bed, and then in the middle of the night heard the same muffled, bass boost again. And then my mom, obviously, I bumped through the door again in the early morning, and I saw a big bump on my mom's head like that. I saw a huge bump on her head, and
wow,
I just wished
just
I
take your
wish my
time.
brothers were. I was confused as to like what could she have done? Like what has she done? Because obviously even at that age I was quite smart, because I grew up with two brothers and I have lots of female, cousins, so I knew a lot even at that age. I just most times I was like, what has she done? Like, like a huge bump on her head. And my mom still, she still went on with her job. Like, she'll be fine, she'll be fine. And to be honest, I really can't remember my brother saying anything or see them react to, what was happening, because they would come home, they would see my mom with, marks, all of this on her. And looking back, I don't think my brothers ever said anything. Even till now, they've never ever maybe spoken about it. Maybe because they were not
Hmm.
at home all the time when it was happening. It was mainly me and my sisters. But it's just I just couldn't put a finger to it. So yeah, that was the last one there that happened in the middle of the night. And the other ones that I experienced were like, during the evening time, you know, it happened several times, several times, several times, you know,
Hmm. And did
several
he used
times.
to apologize? Did you ever see him feeling remorseful or any kind of way about what he has done?
Never. I don't think I ever saw my dad apologize. No, I don't think so. Well, obviously, people will come, like neighbors will come. The people who I believe that if they speak to my dad will listen. They will just come. Obviously, because when incidents like that happens, my mom will either run to either of those people's house for safety. They either run to the
Hmm.
next door
Hmm.
neighbors or to Babalagbaja's compound to say, Baba Dagbadagba to Tibere, all this kind of a thing. And me and my younger sister would just stay with our tenants and stuff. Even we had tenants, it was all this face me and face. So we had lots of rooms. Tenants would come in, try and hold my dad and stuff like that. But my mom would just run out of the house into the next door neighbor's house, just for safety. And later on in the day, they would come over, they would have a conversation. My mom would be the one begging, she will be the one pleading.
Hmm.
Obviously,
Hmm.
even those times, I'm always in the corner because, like I said, I really didn't want to leave my mom's side. I really didn't want to leave her side. I'll be there, I will hear everything,
Hmm.
and it's still going to be my mom begging, and then she'll come back in. But looking back, to the best of my knowledge, I don't think I ever saw my dad apologize to my mom. I never saw him
Hmm.
apologize to her. No.
No surprises there. No surprise. Abuse is deeply rooted in the culture. It's
Yeah.
even now that people are able to know and speak about it openly. Prior to
Yeah.
now, it was just accepted. It was accepted.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you something about
Yeah.
this whole all this going on. As a child, and obviously, you know that people say that children don't remember. You
Oh,
are here
that's
as
a
a
big
grown
lie.
woman now of 40 plus, recalling what happened
Hmm.
when you were 10.
Yeah.
So, what would you
I
say to
remember,
a woman who is watching now, who is listening to you now, and have
see,
kids
I'm
and
gonna
going
go
through
back to
domestic
that
violence
video.
and say, oh, they will not remember? Hmm.
I'm gonna go to that video of that lawyer we saw. You can see how young those kids are. I can tell you,
Yeah.
once they grow to my age, they'll be able to recite, they'll be able to tell you what happened that day between their mom and their dad. I was telling you in
Hmm.
that video as well about my uncle who scolded, who whipped me with a cane. This happened when I was age 7. Till tomorrow, Auntie B, I have never
Hmm.
forgiven that my uncle. I have never forgiven him. Because I was like, you kept your own children in another city. They were enjoying. I now want to come and send me on an errand at 10 p.m. at night when you had someone to go wake me up from my sleep. I've still got that mark. It's there. I don't know if you can see from the view there. I've still got it. That my uncle,
This
I
your
have
fine
never
skin.
forgiven him.
You put a mark on this your
Exactly.
beautiful skin.
I've still got the mark
Hmm.
there. I don't know if you can see from the screen there. I've never forgiven him. And he knows. I've never forgiven him. This happened when I was very, very young. So with the issue of
Hmm.
the Jeep thing, my uncle asking us to get out of his car. This happened when I was in primary school, between the ages of 5 and 7. I
Hmm.
remember clearly. I was even like sharing the experience with my husband, and my husband was like, "How do you even remember that?" I'm like, "Eh, I will forever remember." So what a child remembers everything. Don't think they don't see you. They might not understand at that
Hmm.
instance, but for the fact that they experienced, they saw that thing happening in their presence, In 50 years' time,
Mm-hmm.
they will read everything to you, book by book, page by page, book by book, page by page. They will remember. This is me here. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, all of those things that happened between my mom and my dad. Wake me up anytime. I will tell you from the beginning to the end. I will tell you from the beginning to the end. So if you are
The
if you are a
reason why,
woman in a DV and you've got children and your
mm-hmm.
children are seeing everything, you're not helping them. You're not helping them.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather you walk out with those kids than stay there. I am here. I am here. And I would say
The
also,
reason why, go ahead.
I will say also, even though I experienced those things, it kind of like had an impact on me while raising my children, which means
Of course.
at some point I was not able to show emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I was not able to show emotions. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I'll see parents cuddling their children, at some point I can't cuddle my
Mm-hmm.
children. They'll come give me a
Hmm.
hug and I can't wrap my hands around them. And to be, this is one of the things I still
Hmm.
struggle till now. I've got my oldest is 20 years
Mm-hmm.
old. And if you ask me how many
Because
times while I was raising her
you've not
up,
dealt,
yeah.
yeah,
If you
because
ask
you
me how
haven't
many
dealt with the
times,
trauma.
exactly. If you ask me how many times
You've
while I
not
was
dealt,
raising her
you've not
up,
dealt with
did
it.
I cuddle her? I can't tell you I cuddle my children. It's one of the things that I
Wow.
know I should be doing it as a mother, but I just can't, like,
Mm-hmm.
my brain is just not saying do it. But I'm thinking it's
Hmm.
something I should be doing as a parent, but I can't do it. I want to, but I
Hmm.
can't.
Hmm.
I can't. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
hard. Mhm.
Wow. Yeah. Really, really. Because the reason why I asked that question is because a lot of Mongo parks, that's what we call men that are, or
Yeah,
women that are
Mongo Park,
abusive. And
yeah. Hmm.
park. I'm sorry, but your dad was a Mongo park. Um, the reason why I asked that question is because most Mongo parks will say, "Oh, it is the mother that told the children, that's turned the children against me." Because remember,
Mm.
you talked about your relationship with your dad, how you never had
Yeah.
a relationship with your dad up till even when you left Nigeria, that you never had
Yes.
a relationship with him because of the way you treated
Yeah.
your mom. Because
Yes.
you at a very young age felt like you see, oh my God, parents should be the one protecting their children.
Yeah. Children.
But when you
Yes.
grow up in the kind of household that you grew up in, as a child, you are the one that assumes that position of the protector.
Position. Yeah.
You want to protect your
Yeah.
mom,
Mm-hmm.
even though it shouldn't
Yeah.
be. You are a child.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom
Yeah.
should be the one protecting you. Your dad should be protecting you, but you assume that role
I was the
because of
one.
what your
Yeah.
mom was going through.
Was
You
going through.
felt
Yeah.
bad and you thought, oh, that's why you are sleeping in the door of their bedroom because you're thinking, oh, I have to protect my mom. I have to. It has very deep
Yeah.
impact.
Yeah. Big,
So
big one.
a lot of Mongo Park will say, oh, it's you that told it. You turned the children against me. Assuming somebody, who knows you or your dad, that
Mm-hmm.
period that you were, I know you said you're forgiving him and everything, like,
Yeah.
the relationship, you have a relationship with him now. What is somebody
Yes.
who is doing that now? Because a lot of brothers listen to us too, they think, oh, you are teaching, you are telling my wife to leave my house. This is how you turn children against their father and things, the rhetorics. What would you say to them?
Mm. One thing I would say is this: even though, as you've just said, that at some point when I was not talking to my dad was actually saying to my other siblings that my mom is the one turning me against him. And I would say to my other sibling, like, come, I'm a grown ass woman. I have my own children now. That I know the reason why I am towards my mom. So if you are a man and you do the things that my dad's been doing, trust me, the mother does not even need to tell the children. Like I said, like I'm sitting here, my mom has never, ever, ever said anything otherwise about my dad to me. Instead, when I arrived in the UK, my mom was like, Dupewo, your dad need a new phone. And I'm like, if he needs a new phone, let him go and buy it now. What's my own? Before I when I started making my money in the UK, before I even started giving my mom a penny, she was soliciting stuff for my dad before herself. And I'm like, woman, why are you asking stuff for him? Like, no, I'm not giving. I'm not giving. And my mom like, no matter what, is your father, is your this. And I'm like, what kind of mother is this one? Like, No, you see, the mother doesn't even have to say anything to the children, because the children, like I said, no matter how young, as
They
long as
knew.
they experience these things, they will
Mm,
make up their own minds. They will make up their own
yeah,
opinion about that certain parent. It could be a man or a woman, but in my own
yeah,
case, it's my dad, and I made up my own mind about my dad. Those
right.
days, I was like, no matter
Somebody
what,
is
I
saying
will
in the
not
comment
talk to him.
section. Favor is saying in the comment section that children will always choose their mom. Actually, I thought girls always choose their dads.
Me,
That
Auntie B, I
children will
was
always choose their mom.
at some point, before, or even though when I was even experiencing seeing those things, I was still kind of like gravitate towards my dad. But when it kept happening
Yeah.
often, attention
Mm-hmm.
shifted straight to my mom, that no, is this woman? Ah, no, it is this woman, nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be this woman.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, my mom said to me that, you know what, if I had not given back to you, only God knows what would be of her life. I don't know what
Hmm.
she saw.
That was very, very powerful. Yeah.
I don't know what
No,
she saw.
is you the protector? You see what I said just now about you protecting her?
Mhm.
That's exactly what she saw. Your
Yeah.
brothers didn't do it, but
Mhm.
you did it, even though you were a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not the natural order of things.
Yeah.
And that is
So,
why you see the impact it has on you. Now, I'm going to go to the impact it's had on you. I know you talked about how it's affected your relationship with your dad over the years, even before you left Nigeria. You also
yeah.
mentioned just now how it's affected you being a parent yourself, how you
Yeah.
cannot be affectionate
Yes.
towards your children the
My
way you want
children.
to be hugging and
Yeah.
kissing. Like I'm
Yeah.
very affectionate with my kids. And also the third one you mentioned was, always being in a fight mode.
Yes.
These are the areas that it has affected you that I've noted. Although I don't know the whole story. Are there any other areas that you want to talk about based off on your own experience, how you've been affected growing up, seeing what your dad did to your mom?
um no, I would not say maybe affected negatively, but obviously with seeing such experiences, I know for a fact the kind of man I want in my life. And it helped me decide, choose, like be upfront straight with what I want and what I would not take. And
Mm-hmm.
when I met my husband, I told him straight away, come, I'm from so household that my dad used to do this to my mom. And if you ever put your hands on me, two of us or one of us will meet Jehovah God that day.
You lay it out on him from the beginning.
I, I put it out there straight away. Like, you raise your
Mm-hmm.
hands on me, one of us go and meet Baba God. And I'm super happy that I did
Mm-hmm.
that. I'm super happy I did that. Even though I would say accidentally, because I knew that when he raised his hands on me, we're in Nigeria then, it was because of his sisters. Obviously, all these aunties that want to be sister-in-laws, they were trying, obviously, because I'm a
Mm-hmm.
Ijebu girl. They don't want an Ogbomoso man to marry an Ijebu girl, so they were trying to kind of like, put things in between us, and he slapped me. And to be, I enter kitchen find knife. Oh. I enter
Amen.
kitchen find knife in the presence of all of his siblings, his parents. I enter kitchen find knife. He apologized. He apologized, and we've been together 19 years. He's never ever raised a finger. So in a way, I am super happy that I was able to say, what, this is what I want. So the three aspects you've mentioned, they're absolutely true. Those are the things that I know I struggle with. You know, always
Yeah.
being in a fight mode. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Mm-hmm.
though if you see from
Yeah.
my videos on YouTube, you see people comment. I will give like, you know what, don't do that. Um, I just say it. It's not because I'm not saying it because I'm a bad-hearted person. Like I said, several times, even when I'm not there, I've heard my husband talk like, you know what, even when I'm angry with him at times, and he'll say, you know what, I know you just said that and you don't mean it. This, that, this, is that. And like I said, I'm thankful to God that I have him. Because like if it is in this modern world and I have all these attributes, I won't have a husband. I won't have an husband.
Hmm. Wow. 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 This is
Yeah.
powerful, powerful stuff. So, if you are just joining us, we are talking about how DV affects children. In Nigeria, they say stay because of children. You have to
mm,
stay with. Where are you going to go? You already have children, and you want to go. Think of, come on. They use all sorts of narratives. So,
yeah.
um, today, somebody who grew up, this beautiful young lady who grew up in a household where there was DV, is sharing her own personal experience. This is not hearsay. This
Mm,
is lived experience. Have you ever thought
yeah.
of therapy? Going to
I
therapy?
did, I did, but even I mean, obviously, this is the first time I've actually I know my life stream was when I've actually spoken about. I've always kept it in, and I think I would say I'm managing well. When obviously I felt like I've already forgiven my dad. I made that journey to Nigeria 2 years ago, and if I was not getting better, I don't think I would have forgiven him. I don't think I would have said, okay, oh, I've not seen him for 16 years. I really need to see him. I really need to see him. And I had to book that ticket home to Nigeria and I saw him. So therapy is still something I would consider. I would definitely consider because yeah, I want to be mostly for my children. I really want to do it for my children. Just like I said, I want to be able to hug my children, gather all five of them around me, have a child because like my brother always said that wow, you are a mother of five nations. Like, I can't just imagine seeing you and your five, your prince and your coins, looking at you. My brother, I mean, even that one, Gbasgbos, I've given enough Gbasgbos for him to even disown me. But you know, so I will do it for my children because to be honest, I really want maybe obviously because I've grown older as well. I want to be happy. I don't want anything to stop me from being happy. And yes, maybe I'm still
Right,
holding a little bit of my experience of as a child. Hence why,
right.
even when you think about it, I still cry, I get upset, but not
Okay.
upset to the extent that, oh, I'm not going to speak to him anymore. No matter what he says, if anybody talks, then, like, before I even speak to my dad, forgive him, if anybody as much as mention my dad's name in my presence, I would flare up. And my husband would be like, is it more than this your dad
So you
matter?
had a lot of anger. You had a lot of
A
anger
lot.
towards
A
him.
lot. I will flare up, and my husband like, calm down, kilo day waiting, like nisuru. And I'm like, come, if even if you don't behave yourself, I will divert it onto him. But obviously, because he knew what I was dealing with, it will allow me the space, allow me, do whatever I want to do, and then come back. So yes, therapy is what I would consider. And it's mainly for my children, and because I want to be happy. I'm in my early 40s now. You live this life once. I want to be happy, be happy, let things make me happy and no forget about the things that have happened in the past. And like I said, it's mainly for my children. Mainly for my children.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. We can offer you that. We got some friends here, with the farm that are trained therapists. So
Yeah.
I'll speak to one of them, and yeah, they can give you some sessions. I'm sure they'll be happy to do that. They've done it for a lot of people that have come on the show, because you need to
Mhm.
walk through all that feelings.
Yeah.
It's not something you see. It's because we don't have the awareness from where we come from, because we
Yeah.
just think, oh, we are Nigerians, we are resilient, we can survive anything. So people bottle up all the trauma that they go through,
Yeah.
but it will come out. Trauma
Yeah.
has a way of sneaking out in other places. It will sneak out.
Absolutely.
You won't
Absolutely.
think you're
Absolutely.
controlling it. Oh, no, it will.
Yeah.
It will
Absolutely.
sneak out in your relationship. It can affect
Yeah.
your relationship between you and your partner. It can affect your relationship
Absolutely.
between you and your kid. Can affect, like you said, at work even. I mean, being
Yeah.
angry or being in a fight mode, it takes a lot of energy
It does. It
to be in
does.
a fight mode all
And
the time.
I wonder why I'm always exhausted. Like I'm always tired, and at times I think well, you just Mama Mayele, you are taking what this word is too. You're taking this word the way you should not be taking it. Like what? Stop the way you're looking at the world. And yes, I think I realized that immediately I stepped onto the 40 ladder. Like what? This life you live it once. I want to be happy. I
Mm,
want people to see me and see the happy person in me, not the person who's coming with
yeah,
good mommy, I will give it to you. I don't want
yeah,
to live such. I
yeah,
don't want to live such. I don't want to live such anymore.
yeah.
I don't want that.
We're
No.
gonna help you with that, because yeah, we're gonna help you with that, because unfortunately you've been programmed to be that way. That's not how God made you. It's those
Mhm.
experiences that you had
Mhm.
as a kid. Because
Yeah.
what shapes us as humans from childhood is our experiences, nature and
Yeah.
nurture. Your
Yeah.
environment, your experiences,
Absolutely.
what you saw growing up, and things like that. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, because you haven't dealt with them, they're going to sit there. So, most importantly, before I start taking calls, I want to
Yeah.
ask you, what do you have to say to that woman sitting in that, watching you now, listening to you
Mhm.
as a woman, you are a grown woman now, married with
Yeah.
5 children, 5 nations, like your brother said,
Mhm. Yeah.
and haven't, and they're in that same situation now, and they are like,
Mhm.
I'm staying because of my children. I'm staying
Mhm.
because of my children. What would you say to them?
What I'm going to say to you is this: all of the experiences I've shared with you here were I was between the ages of 5 and 12. If I'm able to speak about those things and still share it here, you should do your children a big favor and get the hell out of that hole. And like I said, if I were to be dating now with all these bottled things up, I might not end up in an husband. In fact, I might not even have a relationship, talk more of getting married. So do yourself a big
Mm,
favor. Because at the end of the day, if you don't leave, me turning out the way I am, that I'm obviously wanting to protect my mom, your children might not protect you. They might
hmm,
say you had a chance to live with us, but you did not. For me, I've not thought
hmm.
in that way that, oh, why did you not live with us? And now I have all these attributes in me that I don't want to. I've not actually blamed my mom in any way. But in
Yeah.
this age and world, pack your bags and save your children from what I have had to go through. For the fact that I'm not even able to show
Mm.
emotions with my children, I know I've been robbed off in a massive way because I've got 5 kids and all of them.
That's
I
the
felt
word.
like I've missed.
That
Yeah, I
I
felt like
like
I've
that
missed
word.
something.
The robbed. Yes.
I felt
And it's
robbed,
your dad that robbed you of that. Yes.
exactly. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I see other parents, cuddling their children, and I'm like, do I have a memory of that with any of my children? I don't.
Hmm.
I don't.
Yeah.
There was a time my husband
Child.
asked my youngest daughter to come hug me, and I was just going to, like, move away.
Hmm.
And I was like, I should not do it, because if I do this, that's me pushed my child away. And I have to,
Hmm.
bring myself to give her a cuddle back. So
What about your
don't,
husband? Are you affectionate towards him?
to be, that was another matter in another way.
I
he,
need to
he,
ask. Sorry to put you on the
he
spot, my
calls
dear, because I
he
know
calls
we
me he
women, our
calls me
children
so
are our hearts.
he calls me soldier.
If you are like Domitila like this with your children, what are you doing with your husband?
He
That
calls
poor
me
man.
soldier. He calls me soldier. That's what he calls me. He said I'm a soldier. But there was a time he said, no, he said, you are my cross, and I will continue to carry you. He calls me a soldier.
Oh,
That's what he
God
said
bless
to me.
him. God will
That's what
bless
he
him
often says to
for
me.
having the
You know?
patience to be able to live with this soldier woman.
Exactly.
Yeah, God
Yeah,
will
he
bless
calls
him.
he
God
calls
will
me a
bless
soldier,
him.
and when he does that, I mean, we do have our own way. We chat, we talk. I might just start,
Mm,
maybe after when I come back from, I might just, because I love old school R&B music. I might just start playing that, and once I get home, I think maybe that's my he believes that's my own way of saying, oh, I'm in a good mood, I'm chilled, and he just comes. Like yesterday, I was listening to this Tevin Campbell, and he was like, oh, it's Tevin Campbell tonight, and he was singing along. We held hands, that way. But in most times it is I'm locking up gidigba, say I be soldier woman, nothing, come off for road. Yeah. So he said that, he said, you are my cross and I will continue to carry you.
mm,
And like I said, it was is the man of my youth. So
mm,
he kind of like understand where I was coming from, and
mm,
he's always been there for me. So like I said, just like the question you asked, like say, if you are a mother and you are staying in a DV, you're saying you want to stay for your children, trust me, I don't want you to regret your old age. Me here clamoring for my mom, saying I still love my mom, your children might grow up and they will not look at your side. They will put all the blame on you instead of the
You
man.
cannot even survive it. Like
Exactly.
Osinach's children were damaged beyond
Exactly.
anything you can think of, and
Yeah.
she didn't survive it.
And she didn't survive. Exactly. So you had a chance to leave, pack your bags and leave. Marriage is not a do or die affair. And I remember clearly my mom's brothers, because he has twin brothers. They were like, Idowu, you need to leave that man. You need to leave that man. But my mom sat there. At some point, my mom's siblings, they left her. They just anytime there's wahala like this, they don't come. Oh. They don't come. They're like, what do you want us to come and say? We've come there several times to intervene. We've asked you to leave. You don't want to leave. What do you want us to do? At some they did. My mom's siblings,
Hmm.
they just left her alone, saying, Idowu, what told you about him? Whatever you see, you take, you take.
Hmm.
You know,
Much.
you take. It's always like for my children. No, it's not for your
Chai.
children. I would have appreciated if my mom had left.
That's
Then I will
that's
have
where I'm
I'll be able
going.
to have a I will be able to have a good upbringing, like caring for my children, have a loving relationship. I felt in a way that there are so many things I should have achieved, but maybe because of hindrance of the way I've been impacted, I've been, as well robbed in other areas as well that I can't even maybe put a finger to,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. So
Hmm.
that's my advice for you. Live and live to live. And it's just
Hmm.
not for you, but for your children. For your children.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if I'm able to relive my memories of when I was between the age of 5 and 12, trust me,
Mm-hmm.
if anything like that happens in the presence of a child of 3 years old, if she grows older, she will tell you everything.
Hmm.
She will tell
I
you
mean,
everything.
thank you very much for being so totally brutally honest. But there's the thing you said about your husband. God bless him.
Yeah.
About him
Amen.
saying that you're like a soldier, you are his cross. It
Mm,
shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be
definitely.
like
I would
that. You
agree.
should.
I
I'm
agree.
sure you have other areas, of course, that you show him love. But
Yeah.
having to live with someone who is constantly in a fight mode, and you
Mm,
yourself recognize that it shouldn't be like that.
mm.
So that
Yeah.
means it's not getting the best of you. It's not getting
Yes.
the best of who you are as Wemimo because of
Yes.
this childhood and
Yes.
everything that you've
Yeah.
experienced.
Yeah. And at some
Yeah.
point, I felt
So
like
yeah.
it's actually true that it's not getting the full me, because it's as if I'm holding back. I don't want to let go totally with him. And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
like, no,
yeah, you're
I'm not
fear.
gonna let go totally to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
It's
still
fear
got like a
because
guarded
you're
gate.
holding that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That fear is still there
I
because
absolutely
of what
agree
your
with
dad
you.
did.
Yeah, I absolutely agree
Yeah.
with
You
you.
still
Like
have
I
that
still got
fear.
that guarded cage there. Even though it's not what I want, but it's just like, yeah, no, that I still need to put that guard up. I still need to put that guard
Did
up.
you did
And
you ask your mom? Did you ever ask your mom why she didn't leave? Did you? I know you brought her to the UK. She had a
yeah,
good time and everything.
hmm,
You know,
yeah,
and you showed her love, took care of her and everything. Did you ever have that
yeah.
conversation with her? Why didn't
I
you
asked
leave
her.
when
I
your
asked. I
family
asked
came
her.
to take you? Why didn't you follow them?
I asked her, and the same
Mm-hmm.
response you will hear from every woman is, for you, for my children. That was her response. I stayed because of my children. I don't want another woman to take my place. I don't want another woman to take over my children. And I was like, that doesn't make sense to me. What if you've died? Will you be here in Scotland with me? And when
Hmm.
I said that to her, she kept quiet.
Hmm.
She couldn't say anything anymore.
Yeah. I mean, they say if you know better, you do better. They didn't know better. I want to believe that they didn't
Yeah,
know better. Because back in
yeah,
the day, I mean, it was something that women were expected to just live with it.
yeah,
So I like what
mhm,
Chidima said exactly, Auntie B, that you were robbed, and
yeah.
now your husband and your children are being robbed
I've been
of the
robbed
best
too.
version of Wemimo.
Of me,
you see you
yes,
see you see how this thing can be generational. Do you see the
absolutely.
example you gave about your young
Yeah,
daughter coming to give you a hug and you
um,
almost
yeah,
go,
almost,
gonna
yeah,
gonna dodge?
yeah,
You were robbed.
yeah.
And now your children and your family are being robbed because they are not getting the best version of you.
Best version of
You
me,
see?
yes, yeah. And my husband has used it to
That is
throw
what
a
it is.
shade at me. He threw a shade at me that, what, it's not about, providing all the needs of the children. The children needs much more than you providing their needs. You need to be there for them emotionally. And when he
Are they
said that
closer
to
to
me, I
your
was,
husband than you? Are they closer to him?
when I am, yeah, I am, I am.
Are the children closer to your husband than you?
They are
Of
like
course.
they will go to
Of
him
course.
first before they come
Yeah.
to me.
Because you
And
are so deep.
I love the
Mm.
fact that they go to him as compared to not going to any of us. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, my
Mm-hmm.
first daughter got her period there. She ran to her dad, and I felt pained
Wow.
that she did not come to me. I
Wow.
felt pained. I felt as if I have failed because she did not come to me.
Hell. Something that she
You
knows there's
know?
only women that experience. She went to her
Yeah.
dad.
She went to her dad,
Wow.
and I cried. And to be,
Hmm.
it was really, really tough. You know, she went to her dad, and her dad kind of like said to me, "Oh my, your daughter came to me and said this, so try and have a chat with her." So yeah, and I called her and I said, "Oh, it's good that you told your dad. That means you're a daddy's girl. You did this, that, that." So that way, I kind of like came into her and said, "Okay, this is how you go about it. This is how you go about it. You stay
Mm-hmm.
clean, you stay that. So that way, I've been
Mm-hmm.
even when the second one too started, she went straight to her dad. She went straight to
Mm-hmm.
her dad. When
Yeah.
my first son started talking to a girl, he went straight to his dad. The good they are is that
They're
maybe because at
closer.
the same time I'm a strict
Children.
mom also. Yeah. So they go to their dad for anything for the first time is their dad. And yeah, I felt like I was sad, about that at first, but I was like, no, it's their dad. So if they go to him, I'm fine with it. I'm happy with it. At least they are going to one of us rather than not going to anybody at
Mm.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. Children tend to gravitate towards affection.
Yeah.
It's the parent that is affectionate and caring that they will run to.
They will run
That's how
to.
they are.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
with parents, you always have the good cop and the bad cop. So it seems like you were the bad cop, dad is the
I'm the
good
bad
cop.
cop. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This has been amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming forward to talk
You're
to us.
welcome, Anthony.
I really, really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank
Brad
you,
Patrick is
Anthony.
here. I think I saw Bio. Bio, where are you? Come back. Brad Patrick, welcome, welcome. Yeah, the
Yeah,
link is
Auntie
in the
B.
comment section. If you want to contribute, please jump in. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I was listening attentively.
Yes, sir.
What's our host name?
Her
Uh,
name is Wemimo.
okay, well, Memo,
Mm.
Yes, sir.
God bless you.
Amen, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna point out because I did some writing.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Okay.
going to point out some very positive things about you.
Yes,
You
sir.
mentioned the fact that I want to be happy.
Hmm.
Yes.
Let me point it out to you that happiness is free.
Yeah.
Happiness is free. And you are the one that will make yourself happy. Nobody can make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
Your children cannot make you happy. Your husband cannot make you happy. You have to seek self happiness first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And remember, you are so lucky you got married early. God has helped you with that.
Yeah.
And with this conversation you had, I find out that you are very open. You are doing the right thing. Yeah, I'm not, let me give your husband his flower.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Thank you,
real,
sir.
it's
He's a
a real
good man.
man.
He's a really good man.
It's a genuine man.
Mm-hmm.
No, apart from your husband your dad being abusive, a lot of women are into this based on the fact that their dad was not there when they were growing up. They
Mm-hmm.
have the same issue. They don't know how to relate to men, and that really affected them in their
Mm-hmm.
marriage,
Mm-hmm.
in any relationship they go into.
Yeah, abandonment issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I saw some things in you that you procrastinate a lot. I want to do this, I want to do this. And like Sister Auntie B mentioned, and other people mentioned, please go for therapy ASAP as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank God for your husband. Like we said, has really affected your children.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah.
And apart from what you went through, there are some things women go through. I wish people that are listening to me to go back and listen to Michelle Obama's message last week in Kalamazoo, Michigan about women. I wish all women would go back. Women go through a lot, even in their body.
Yeah.
And Michelle Obama said there are things that women go through that they cannot even tell their husband. They cannot even tell their doctor. I'm gonna give you an example. It's not. It's kind of funny, you know. When my wife was younger, she did family planning. I said that's okay at least. So at the time she was saying, I want to have one more child. After we stopped having children, I said, she was just saying, I want to have one more child. I said, I just went to my mind, say, how we didn't take up the family planning we did. He said, am I going to wait for it? I took it off long time. I said, what? He said, you know what it did to my body?
Mm-hmm.
That she was having heavy flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was bloating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was just having weight. And I said, okay, it's not in my body. I don't know. Say, I can't wait for you that day. She went to the doctor and told the doctor and said they have to take it out.
Mm-hmm.
So women go through a lot
Yeah.
in their body. They have to do pap tests or whatever. They have breast cancer. They are not sure. They can't even discuss with their spouses because a man will not understand.
Yeah.
But when women are together, they can say, "Oh, yeah, my guest, this is what I'm going through." They begin to talk. But it's not always easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there are things women go through during what's it called? Menopause, post-menopause,
Menopause.
that they cannot even discuss with their husband will not understand.
It's not even about discussing it, Brad Patrick. It's about you even not even understanding what you are going through.
God bless
Yeah.
you, Auntie B. You said it well. Like I said,
You
I'm
will
a
not
man.
even understand what your body goes through.
Yes.
That's why I get so angry when I see men saying, "What are you bringing to the table?" You don't know. Brad Patrick, I can't explain it. 1 minute I'm hot, 1 minute I'm cold. My mood, my hormones are going raging from, just name it. So
Thank
you
you.
can't even, even me, I don't understand what I'm going through. How can I tell you what I'm going through when I don't
Thank you.
understand it?
Auntie B, thank you for backing me up with that. You're a woman, you know better. So,
Cozy,
so,
oh.
so, so, well, Mimo, I don't want to downplay what you went through or
Yes, sir.
what your dad did. But like one time I get about being my bad tojo or whatever. I don't know how to say that Yoruba. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
please go and seek for therapy. Don't
Mm,
rush
Yes,
it.
sir.
Take time. Yes. Those things that you have not been doing, those kids, by the time they are 18, by the time they grow up, and by the time they are out, ha, I'm sorry to take you. You know what? Let me give you an example. One lady working for me, as soon as I got to the office, I saw her. I said, what happened? She said she wants to see me. I said, what happened? He said the son left the house. Just 17, he ran away with a girlfriend. I said, what? I said, don't worry, we'll prove it. I held her hand, we went away. The following week, she called me. She said, can you believe the police called her? I said, for what? She's still a minor.
mm-hmm,
So they're taking him to court. So they
hmm,
have invited the woman to family court. I said, wow. She sent me, they called someone I read through. I said, don't worry, go away. Do it. So 3 weeks later, the lady just came to me and said, please, Patrick, I'm inviting you to my wedding. I want you to come and pray there. You know what I mean?
hmm.
When we went for the wedding, by grace of God, when they called me and said, you have somebody to pray for. They called me. I was like, okay. I prayed during the wedding. Everybody stood up, we prayed. But what the woman is going through, what I'm trying to bring out from there in life, there's going
Mm,
to be ups and downs with
absolutely.
the
Mm,
children, with your own life, with
mm,
with your marriage, with your body. So, my sister, you don't want to bundle everything together. You need to take care of yourself first.
mm-hmm,
Despite that, what that lady was going through, she still have to go through her wedding. Yes, the boy was not there for the wedding. And you know what she said? He said the boy too doesn't, she will call the boy will not pick his phone.
mm,
The boy
mm.
will not pick his phone. And she
It's
had the
well.
boy early, maybe at the age of 19.
It is well, oh. May God help
So we
us.
go through a
Mm,
lot.
yeah.
Like I said, thank God you're able to survive what you went through with your mom, with your dad, I mean. So it
Mm,
is now left for you. Don't let, there's what you call multiplier effects.
yeah.
So might affect that will affect your children, that will strain your relationship. And the way this kid will take it, it's going to be different with the way you will take it.
Ben,
So, my sister, please go for therapy.
we'll organize that, Brother Patrick. Yeah, we'll support her with that by the grace
And
of God.
you said something which is very important. You said life is so short. Please don't procrastinate. I found I wrote that one down. Just go ahead and do it. Remember, God will bless you.
Thank you,
I
sir.
really appreciate you. Thank you, Auntie B, for having me. God bless
Thank
you.
you for your wise counsel, as always, Brother Patrick. God bless you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
But Patrick, I can't now. Oh, yeah, it's gone.
Let me bring him back. Bio,
I was
hey,
going to say, he's here.
Bio,
Castle. Auntie B, how you doing?
how now?
I'm good, though. Thank
Well,
God. Thank God.
so
Good to
God
see
bless
you.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome.
Brother
Yeah.
Patrick, I said, is there a car there or a castle?
Yeah,
What to
Bio, how you
do?
doing now?
I did fine. How is everything?
Nice to see you. Yeah,
Same here.
yeah, so it's good
Same
to
here.
hear your
Same here.
voice today.
Yeah, I said let me quickly catch you before you leave the studio. So we'll
Yes,
talk
so
later. Yes, so
thank
yes,
you,
sir.
Auntie B. Thank you for having me.
Okay, sir.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay.
So I want to, there's a strong spirit here. I just look at my YouTube and boom, I saw that moment. I said, wow, one of my favorite, most admired woman. She's I got to know Mom of Five on a separate issue, which I will not mention here. However, I realized that Mom of Five is a very strong lady.
Mm.
Yes, I've spoken to her a couple of times, and I was intrigued by her participation, fight for justice, and her passion for the girl child. So I am not surprised at all. Hearing her story further gave me that understanding of why this lady is who she is. So I'm not here to give her any advice or contributions, but rather to compliment her. And by the grace of God, someday I will also get to know her husband. So that Mom of
Thank you,
Five,
sir. Hopefully.
yes, this is our family. Bodo TV is a very big family. I know you added me on IG, so you must have seen that
Yeah.
I'm part of this family.
Yes.
So please, I want to appreciate Auntie B for
Brother
she's been very,
Bio.
yes, she's been
But
very
the fan says, but the fan says it's when you got married. That's when you went to a war. Married life. You
they
don't
should
shop
leave
married life. You don't shop Oboroko chop all the choppables now. As a
not today
married
this
man.
not
That's
today
how we
there's
be the
something they
fresh
marry.
men. We see the CEO now.
Not
Now
today
when
there's
you hold
something they
on
marry
chop
Auntie
house.
B.
We don't see Bio again. No, Bio don't disappear. That's so Dr. Ife say since Bio got married, he's been gone. He war.
Oh, okay. That's very good. If that is what you think. Anyway, so like I was saying, I really admire her
Thank you, sir.
strengths, her personality, and again her commitment to a cause. It's not just talking. There are two persons in this world, two set of people.
Yeah.
Some are talkatives, some are action people. I classify that Mom of Five just as Auntie B, as earlier on, as persons who are doing the talk, walking it. You
Yeah.
see it in them. That's my point here. So my
Yeah.
point here today is to further attest to that fact that she is very, very strong, passionate, committed, devoted, humble, most importantly. Humble. Humility is everything.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I
sir. Bill.
am able to confirm that she's a very humble lady.
Okay, the
So
link
Thank
of
you,
her
sir.
channel is in the comment section, guys. Yeah, I've just put it. Please follow Mom of 5. I liked her immediately when I saw that video. I just loved everything she was saying. I could see myself in her. You know, I
yes,
just loved her.
I didn't want to say it.
Yes, I
You
see
know, I
myself
didn't want
in
to
her.
say it to
With
be because I
the
don't want to talk too
passion,
much. I
when
wanted
she
to
was
say
talking, I said, ah,
junior. I wanted to
it's
say
like
junior
my
at
video
B.
sister.
But I'm picking my words very Auntie B,
Yes,
I'm
I saw
picking my
myself in her
words
totally.
very
Abi.
carefully.
Mm.
Very carefully. I wanted to say junior Auntie B, but I just kept quiet. I didn't want to say it, but thank God you said it yourself. So
Yeah.
that Mom of 5 is she's something she just exactly like that. Although I've not had time to watch most of your video, I will go there and see more.
Thank
So
you, sir.
please, the only part I will just round up with is this. I know that you are very emotional. This is not the first time you've heard, I've not heard the full story, but I heard much today. But there was a day you were doing something on your show and you moved towards your background and you were a little bit emotional. So
Mm.
emotions is allowed. As
Mhm.
our brother used to say it here, he would say emotion are your mate. So
Mm.
emotion is allowed, We all,
Mm.
I'm also an emotional person. I've cried on the phone with Auntie B. Ask Auntie B. She shocked that day. She said,
Bio,
Samuel, they
Bio.
cry.
Mhm.
Auntie B, am I lying? On the phone like this, you are gisting, no?
I shock.
Gisting, normal gist. There was no problem. Oh. I just tried to express an incident that happened in the past to
Ha.
her.
I was
She
shocked
heard
at
me
the
cry.
night.
She shocked. She was
I
like,
shocked. Oh. How you tell us I shocked?
Sabio,
I was so
can you
shocked.
cry? so, so, so what I'm saying that is emotion is allowed. People who are passionate in what they
Yes,
do,
yes.
definitely they will express it. It's not about fakeness. It's about being real. Forget what
Mm.
people say. You are yourself. It
Yeah.
doesn't take anything from you. So thank you very much. Let me yield back so that other people can contribute. I'm
Brother
still
Thank you,
Bio,
Sabio.
lovely
Thank
to
you,
all
see
right.
sir.
you. If I
All
don't
right.
hear
Take
you,
care.
let's see you more often too.
Of course,
Married
surely,
man,
surely.
married
Yeah.
man. Let's see you more
I
often
beg
too.
you should leave marriage. Auntie B, let me
Married
clear the
man.
air.
I dare
Hold
you.
on now. Let me clear the
Eh.
air. When you say, most time people say married man, married man. It's not this, not repeat exam that they do now. I've been
You know
married
matter.
before, so
You know
I'm not.
matter. You know matter. No time. Just no time. Best buy clothes where you no fit wear am. You know matter.
I've
Whether
been,
you repeat or not. You know matter.
I understand. I
Enjoy. It's a new
understand.
day. Yeah.
I understand. I understand.
Eh,
It is
eh.
well.
Mhm.
Please, oh,
Nice to
people
see you,
continue,
my dear.
continue the fight for women, oh, as a
Yes.
get that.
Mm, Well done, Rabio. Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Yeah,
Okay. Those of
yeah,
you, please
yeah.
subscribe to Mom of 5. The link is in the comment section. JR, for you to jump in the studio today.
I had
Be
to.
serious. You had to.
It's very serious.
Okay.
How are you? How are
Welcome.
you tonight?
I'm good, darling. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. So I called for a reason, and the reason why I called is because she and I were around the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but her children are suffering from what I suffer from.
Hmm.
Um, you can hear my voice shaking a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, my sister, I want you to. I'm calling because of what you said about your kids,
Okay.
and I want you to take it very seriously.
Okay.
Whatever you need to do, I'm talking to you directly. Whatever
Okay.
you need to do, you need
Mm-hmm.
to you, you need to get those kids closer now. I'm
Hmm.
telling
Sure.
you. I'm telling you. Like I said, you and I are around the same age, and my mother is similar. My mother had similar experiences as you had, and she's 80, and I'm just now trying to get close to her.
Hmm.
Mm.
80. My sister, you and I, we're gonna be 80, maybe in 30 something years from now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Think about it. Your daughter, your sons, you need to hug them now. You need to go to therapy, whatever you need to do, you need to do it now. Not
Sure.
tomorrow, now. I'm telling you
Sure.
now. The younger ones, you can be strict, but the older ones, you better start hugging them. You better start talking to them. I can't even
Yeah.
sit and talk to my mother.
Yeah. I think you shared something about that with me in the
I'm
past.
telling you. It's
Yeah.
not a joke.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. And I'm my voice. I mean, my voice is literally shaking now because I'm those kids. And
Mhm.
so now
Mhm.
at my mom 80, she's now coming around. But
It's to
every
build a
person,
relationship at adulthood is
look,
I don't know. I don't want to
Yeah.
say it's too late, but
look,
it's not easy.
Yeah.
and keep in mind, keep 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 in mind, I have siblings that are in their 50s. They don't even they
Where
don't
are
know
you
my
going to start
mom.
from? How
My
are you going
mom,
to start building relationship with your children
they
at
don't
that
have they
age?
don't have a
Right.
they don't have a relationship. Now, my sister, remember, my mother is not a bad person. She's a good person. She's
Mhm.
very successful, career woman, educated, whatever you want to call it. But I'm sure she had some type of trauma
Yeah.
when she was younger as well.
Mm.
So what I'm trying to tell you is I'm putting a lot of stress on this.
Hmm.
Make sure you start hugging your kid, talking to them, getting to know them.
Yeah.
One of the things I was
Just being
missing.
emotionally available.
Yeah, you need to be available. You
Emotionally.
need to listen to them, talk to them, be their
Yeah.
friend, especially the older ones, because you don't want to be like me. Imagine you now trying to build a relationship with your mom who is maybe 80 or 80 something years old. It's too late.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
So my sister, do it now. I'm begging you because you don't want those children to be me.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I
please
will.
I like
Thank
what
hug
you.
them,
Monica
talk to
said.
them, sit
Monica
with
said
them.
something very, very important here, Junior. She said, you should start. She said, when we more start by telling your children your story.
Thank you.
Ties to them and then draw them
Thank
close. That's so
Wemimo.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Wemimo, do you know how many
Yeah.
times I've sat my mother down and asked her, what happened to you when you were younger?
Yeah.
How were you raised?
Mm.
I actually had to go
Mm.
behind her and go to a childhood home. I wasn't born in Nigeria. I live
Hmm.
in Nigeria. I had to go to her childhood home and talk to the people that are still alive that knew her when she was a kid because I had to get answers because she wouldn't give me those answers. She's now giving me answers, but she's 80. It's kind of late.
Mm.
So don't
Yeah.
be that. Don't be that mom
Sure.
because when you're 80 years old, you're not gonna be this tough soldier that you said you are. You want to hang out with your kids. You want to hang out with
Yeah.
your grandkids. That's all you have at that point.
Yep.
You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So please, if you need to talk to me or whatever, you can always reach out to my mom here, Sister B.
Sure.
I love her to death.
Mhm.
She's the sister I never had. So
Mm.
please, if you need to talk to someone, please reach out to me. She has my number. I'm telling
Sure.
you, don't don't miss out on that because 40 years from now, you're gonna need those kids because all you
Absolutely.
need you're gonna need to hang out with them. You're gonna need
Hmm.
to visit them. Do you know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
whatever that's my only reason of calling. I have no other reason of calling
Hmm.
because and I'm glad the person that posted that on the status, talk to them, especially the older ones. Hey, this what happened to me because that was one of the things I was missing as
I
well.
mean, I thought that was so beautiful, Monica. She really articulated it in a way
Very
that made
important.
sense.
Very important, especially the older ones. Sit and talk to them. It's not at home. Go have you live in Europe. Go to a
Yeah.
restaurant or whatever. Go hang out with them. You can still be a strict mom, but still share your story. That's what I
Sure.
didn't get. Mom, what happened to you when you were younger? Oh, nothing. Mom, what happened to you when you were younger? Nothing. And I go around and talk to other people in their 80s and they're like, oh, this is what happened. But my mom doesn't tell me that.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
Do you know what
difficult
I'm
to
saying?
share trauma. Yeah, it's difficult.
Sure.
So what I'm trying to tell you
Okay.
is
Then.
that me now at 40 plus, I'm still suffering from those trauma that she had from her childhood.
Hmm.
Mm.
Do you understand? So these 80 years of
Sure.
trauma that a 40-plus-year-old person is suffering from.
Hmm.
So please, I'm begging you,
I
please,
will.
begging you, make
Sure.
Thank
sure you connect with
mhm.
those kids. That's all I'm calling for.
Sure.
Thank you.
I
Thank
will.
you so
Thank you
much.
so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Please subscribe to her channel. Junior.
Thank you, CB.
He's the only one that calls me Egbon. Egbon. Oh, you know,
Mhm.
I really like what Junior said. He's talking about. I'm sure you're a great mom, even though you feel like you can't hug and but I'm sure you're a great mom. Do you know why? Because you're a good person. A good person will make a good parent.
Yeah,
However, cooking for your children is important.
yeah,
Nurturing them is important. I'm sure when they were babies, you breastfed them, you did
yeah,
school runs, you did all that,
mhm,
right? It's all good.
yeah,
However, the bit that Junior was, hammering on, and why he feels very, very emotional talking about it,
mhm,
because it relates to his own experience, is the emotional connection.
yeah,
You need that emotional connection with your kids,
yes,
because it's what will sustain your relationship when you are old.
yes,
You see, when Oyibo people or all these people growing up in this part of the world, and they are old. I'm glad you are in
mhm,
us, so you see old people all the time. I don't know the branch
yeah,
of nursing you are practicing. I work with adults in the, as
mhm,
work, and so even today I was in a nursing home, and I see what old age looks like. You
yes,
see, you see old people. They have you ask them, "Do you have children?" You say, "Mr. Smith, do you have any children?" They'll say, "Oh, yeah,
mm,
they're somewhere." The children have not
mm,
been to them for
yeah,
years. The thing that make your children to be in your life at that age is that
mhm,
emotional bond,
yes,
that
absolutely,
emotional connection. But for you
yeah,
to be able to create that emotional bond with your children, you need to be healed
yes,
from that trauma.
mhm,
You need to be able to deal with all that PTSD and everything that happened. It's not your fault. Your parents, your dad especially created that environment. And
yeah,
your mom, and she was an enabler because she stayed.
the
Because
state, yes,
it's not because in Nigeria they say, oh, the parents didn't want them to come back, but like in your story, even her family came and said leave, but she didn't leave.
yeah,
But I don't
she
blame
did it,
her. I do not blame her, because that's the culture.
yeah,
It's unheard of almost at that time. It's the culture.
yes,
So your husband is
true,
beating you. Is that why you should leave? Where are you going to go?
mm,
Who's going to marry you? You know?
mm,
And you can also hear her saying, where I worked, I don't want somebody to come and reap. What are they reaping? Beating?
exactly,
What is the person going to reap?
you need to reap,
Beating
exactly,
or choking at night?
mm,
That was their understanding. So they say when
yeah,
you know better, you do better. You know better, so
mm.
you're going to do better by the grace of God.
Amen,
Yeah,
amen, amen,
yeah.
and thank you, Auntie B,
Thank you so much. Thank
thank
you for
you,
taking the time to share our story with you.
sure,
I'm gonna talk to you, and then we'll
sure.
connect you to that therapist. Okay.
Okay, ma. Thank you, Auntie B. Thank you. I really appreciate, ma.
Take care of
Thank
your
you.
husband and go and kiss those children tonight.
I
Kiss
will.
them and hug
I
them.
will.
Okay.
I
All
will.
right.
I will do. I
Thank
will
you.
do. Thank you, Auntie B. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much. Yes, ma. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Bye. Okay, that's a lovely, lovely, lovely Wemimo sharing her own story with us tonight. We thank her so much for being gracious and vulnerable. It's not easy sharing your own lived experience, especially a painful one. It's not easy at all. But we thank her so much for sharing that story. If you are listening or you've listened to this episode, what do you learn from that? Trauma can be generational. You also heard JR. JR say, I love my mom and forgiving her. We have always had a good relationship, but there has always been a hole that she left us with. Yeah, it's imperative to connect with your kids. Yeah. hmm So, yeah, when I say that abuse is it ruins lives, it's generational. This is it. Children will suffer. The adults will suffer. Even the children that are born years later, your unborn children will suffer. Do you know why? Because you are suffering. And somebody that is suffering when you are not whole in your mind. You can be whole physically, you are well, you can walk, nothing's wrong with you. Thank God for good health. But emotionally, mentally, being in a fight mood all the time, fighting, fighting, fighting. In some children, the way they express it is that they will start fighting. Some will make poor choices, deliberately make poor choices because of what they experienced. Some will run away from different things. Trauma plays out in different ways. No relationship, with the abuser, especially when it comes to the abuser, there is never, accountability is out of the window. They will never take accountability. I don't expect him to be accountable because in their generation, I mean, it's just something that they didn't think is necessary. They expect you to understand. So you that is listening now and you are in a situation like that, you are living with abuse. Think about the story we shared today and people that have been vulnerable enough to share their story to help you. And I pray that God will help you to make the right decisions. You don't stay because of the children, you live because of the children. It's just that we as Africans and Nigerians particularly have bastardized so many things concerning marriage that they will tell you stay in an abusive marriage because of the children. No, you should leave because of the children. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, please subscribe to that mom of five. The link is in the comment section. I will also pin it in the comment section. Just hit on the if you see my link now, that's her channel. She's a YouTuber. Actually, let me show you before we leave. So you see her when you go to the channel, so you'll see her. She's a lovely, lovely, lovely lady. Speaks so passionately. Yeah, that's
You will see contents like mommy vlogs, cooking vlogs, shopping vlogs, and all of that. And I also share a bit of DIYs because I mean, this year it's more of like empowering every other woman out there. I might not be the most perfect person when it comes to DIY, but I thought I would come with onto my channel with a bit of DIYs like candle making, soap making, and every other DIYs that I come across and other means of making money at home.
she has 12,000 12.1 k subscribers. So follow her. Beautiful, beautiful woman, very well articulated, very passionate, and yeah, you definitely learn one or two things. So please subscribe to her channel. And thank you, everybody. Fala, thank you so much, my dear. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. Please share this video, like it, subscribe, and yeah, and I shall see you in my next one. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening and look after yourself. Mm. Ben, Ben. Okay, I don't know what you're saying. You sound very, very ignorant. Why is it that we always have all these ignorant people? Why? Eh? I'm just about to end now. I'm struggling to follow the topic. One just needs to move on and forget the past. No big deal. Ben, I don't have any answer for you. You're a very ignorant person. So I don't have any answer for you. Yeah? If you think abuse is something you just move on from, then you are very ignorant. What can I say? I don't have answer for ignorant people. It's a waste of my energy. You see, my energy is very, very precious. I'm going to end in a good mood. So, Koshilo. Hey guys, it's your girl, Auntie B here. Are you enjoying this show? Are you gaining some value from it? Have you subscribed? Have you liked this video? Or you're just one of those people that come to watch and walk away? YouTube subscription is absolutely 100% free. Do remember to subscribe. Do remember to share this video and also give us a thumbs up and share it on all your social media handles. Share it on your WhatsApp groups. Send it to your friends, your loved ones in Nigeria. And if you want to support our work by donating to the channel, we have the details of our PayPal and our accounts here. Please use them. And remember, God loves a generous giver. Support our work, show us appreciation. The year is coming to an end. Say, Auntie B, this is for your Christmas present. Just send us a donation today. And I really appreciate all my lovers and my friends out there. Thank you. Ajoshewa Onibaje o.